Welcome back to the Podcast Chronicles. I am one of your hosts, Ronny.
And I'm Chaz.
We're doing something a little bit different this evening.
Yep. This is the Made in Abyss Chronicles.
Yeah, but it's not a very long... I wouldn't even call it the Chronicles. I would call it an... We are the Podcast
Monocles.
Chronicles. Ooh. Yes. But kind of Donicles, because there's going to be two of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Dos, duo. I don't think that checks out, but... Anyway, yeah, this is kind of, we'll call it a Podcast Chronicles Extra. What do you think about that?
Ooh.
You like that name?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So yeah, it's just something we're trying out, where we watch shows, older shows, and instead of doing episode by episode coverage like we've done before, it's more of a grand scale thing. And perfect time for a drink there, Chadley. Good work by you.
I've got a Jack and Coke today, guys. I'm switching it up.
But you're lying.
Jack and Pib Extra, sorry.
Yeah, because I saw, you told me that you were going to drink that, and then I saw the drinks that were going in there, and I said, okay, this guy's a liar.
Well, we didn't have Coke. All we had was Pib. And when my mom, my whore of a mother, doesn't buy cola...
Don't call her that.
When she doesn't buy the cola, I go with the extra.
I feel like this is just how I feel. You know, as a person who drinks water, milk, occasionally hot chocolate, I feel like Pib is a dirty drink.
It is not. It is a great
I think it's
beverage.
I feel like it's for filth.
No, what's for filth is literally Pepsi.
I feel like it's Mountain Dew's dirty cousin. That's how I feel. Yeah, that's how I feel, though.
And there's nothing wrong with Mountain Dew. Come on, though.
Yeah, but Mountain Dew has a stigma around it.
No, you're right about Mountain Dew. There's nothing about Pib Extra that has that stigma.
I don't like, can I tell you this? I don't like the can.
Why not?
I just don't like the look of it. I feel like it's been like that for a long time.
And you can almost say that it's Dr. Pepper's ripoff.
And once again, because you're calling it, is it still Mr. Pibb or did they ditch the Mr.?
It's Pib Extra.
And what made it extra? The fact that they got Mr. out of there?
Yeah.
It was at one point Mr., right?
Yeah, they put a little extra Pib in it, I think.
But I'm being serious.
Yeah, so am I.
It was Mr.?
It was Mr. Pibb.
And now it's Pib Extra.
Yes.
I hate that.
And the reason
I also
I think
hate that.
The reason I think that is because they thought they were ripping off Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And they did the Mr. Pibbs.
Yeah. There was never an S, but yeah.
Well, what I don't like about your S, you always comment on my S's.
Right.
Mr. Pibbs, the guy.
Sometimes I think it's funny, and then other times when you do it, it makes me mad.
Well, there's the guy that invented Pib, Mr. Pibbs.
You're not no, you're not chess charts.
But if
you were getting ready to do some sort of logic, it didn't work.
If you're talking about the plural form of me, yes, I'm Chaz Charts. The Chaz Charts household, yes. That's what I was. That's where I was going with this. Anyways, let's just skip the.
Yeah. So what we're doing is first show we're ever doing this on is Made in Abyss. I had never heard of it before. This is, of course, is a Chaz special. Chaz, why are we doing this show?
Well, we had somebody mention it to us a while back, and it was actually Catherine who did, and I believe there was another gentleman. I don't remember his name that also mentioned it as well. And this is one of the first mentions we had a while ago. So I decided to watch it with my dumbass roommate Kyle.
Because dumbass roommate Kyle watched it first.
He watched it first, and because I had told him about it, I was like, hey, we got mentioned this. And he's like, oh, I'll try it out. And he watched it while he was at home, working from home, obviously not doing any work, watching the show. And then he said, dude, it's great. You should watch it. He's like, I'll watch it with you. So he rewatched it, most of it with me.
Because here's the reality of the situation. First, I think we owe people an apology. Because we've asked for people to give their, their thoughts on what shows we should cover. And I think this is kind of just the anime of it all. There's a lot of animes. People have a bunch of different taste. We've been mentioned. Okay, will you calm down? What's going on?
I don't like that remote over there.
You spent 5 minutes knocking it over, and I just didn't. Okay. It's going to be one of those podcasts.
We need to do Squid Games next.
But do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel bad because we are told bunches and bunches of animes, and we can't get. And I feel like people think we're ignoring them. That's not the case. I see all of them. I look up all of them, and maybe one day we'll get to them.
Yeah, like ones like Death Note that we've already seen, and they're older ones. We probably won't. To be honest, we probably won't ever cover those. Let's be honest. I know people have mentioned that one a few times. That's one of those that we've watched. They're like, it's like a 2009 program. We probably won't cover those.
Okay.
This one's an older one too, but it's not nearly that old, and it's something we hadn't even seen yet.
Well, this was just, we took our month off. I was training for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Nathaniel's.
Yeah. Well, it's not Nathaniel's. It's Nathan. That dirty dog Nathan is what I like to call him. And
it's actually Nathan.
And
without the S.
And I'm coming for that dick.
Whoa, dude, chill out, buddy.
I'm sorry, I just get a little heated when I talk about world reigning hot dog eating champ Joey Chestnut, because that guy he's the GOAT, all right? And have I made my sick multiple times trying to catch up to him? He's constantly outdoing himself, and one day I'd like to think I'd catch up, but I don't know. He's gonna have to overeat and die because he's
getting older.
He's a machine.
Father Time's undefeated.
It is, but he's kind of the Tom Brady of hot dog eating. So, but thank you everyone for sending me support. I've been hitting the dinner table hard, and I'm liking where I'm at right now.
And also, keep sending us suggestions. We want to get to the point where we can eventually set up like a poll when we have like the top
Polls
4
would be fantastic.
Top 4 most recommended, and then that way we can have them vote on it.
Exactly.
And then if it's something we don't like, we just say fuck you, and we go with like the second choice or something.
I got a little heated about Joey Chestnut. What I was trying to say was we had a month off. It was a great time off. You know, we reset. We're ready to tackle the podcast game once again. This was a 13 episode. We powered through it. Knew we could come back and talk about it, so let's do that now. We might do Squid Games next because it's taken over the world.
It's taken over the world. I would love to do it. And by that, just summarize each episode, not even go line by line because they're an hour long. Mm-hmm. It's a great program.
Yeah. And in this case, Made in Abyss, today's episode will be episodes 1 through 7. We'll come back for episodes 8 through 13 at another time. You ready to get into this?
Yes, sir. Let me pull up my notes. Got them on the phone.
Fantastic. He took notes. What do you know about that?
Yep.
So what did you think early on in this show broadly? Why do you think you were like, we should cover this?
Okay, the first episode, I was intrigued. There wasn't really too much in the first episode, I feel like, right? You didn't really...
So I'll go ahead and say this. From the world building, the initial world building, the premise of the show, I like it even more than I like Attack on Titan.
I like that.
Just the whole idea of the creation of the world. There's this abyss, this giant hole in the middle of the earth, in the middle of the ocean. And they've built this village around
it's not an ocean.
Well, it is an ocean.
Oh, you're right. It is.
They're in
I see
the
what you're
middle
saying.
of like
in
a
the
giant
middle of the ocean, and then there's the hole in the middle of. Okay,
right.
I see
Yeah. There's like a little villa, I guess it was like an island, and then they just built up I don't know if they'll ever explain that.
You know when I was sold on this show is I think it's at the end of episode 1 when they show the whole entire outskirts of the hole.
Right.
That's where I was sold.
That was one of my favorite moments of the whole show because you go through the entire first episode, and to me, like just from a visual standpoint, because here I've got even like the summaries. I'll go ahead and say like my little summary for episode 1. Rico and Nate are about 100 meters down excavating. I like to call it a giant angry sperm monster attacks.
Is it Nate or Nat?
I think it's
Nat. I really do think it's Nat.
It must have been an autocorrect because
okay.
I wrote down all the characters. It did say Nat.
Okay.
Nat. Good catch. Fantastic work by you. And what I was saying was there are giant angry sperm monsters. They are.
Are you talking about the Crimson
you're burping for the 9th time this episode, but they are.
The Crimson Split Jaws? They are my favorite monster of any show I've ever seen because they look like giant sperm monsters.
Okay, all right. Just so we can all agree on that, all right?
Yeah, they do. You're right on that. How do they fly? Like it looks like they shouldn't be able to fly.
I don't know. And so then little Iron Man boy saves the day. We see a little bit about this orphanage. There's just a lot of setup. And like I said, my main takeaway was just how cool the setting is. Very good animation.
Yeah, that is one take I have about this is that it being an Amazon original, I was surprised at how well.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that really... I don't know if it being an Amazon original has anything to do with that, but I would think that it does, right?
I don't know how that works out, to be honest. I knew it was on Amazon. I didn't realize that it was straight up an Amazon original.
Yeah, I know it's not on anything else besides Amazon.
Is it straight up just a show? Is there a manga that goes along with it? Do you know that?
I do know there's a manga,
Okay.
but that's all I know is that there's a manga.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
The village is called Orth, and so yeah, I thought during the first part of the episode, I was like, okay, they're in like these canyons, sort of like luscious canyons, and then you get to the very end of the episode where it backs off, and that's the first time you see that it's just this nice. It's like a little mining town or something.
It's beautiful,
just right in the middle of the ocean, like built up on these hills. It's awesome.
That was when I was officially drawn in. As soon as they drew out and showed the entire what do you call it? What is the side of view? What do you call that?
Bird's eye view.
Yeah, bird's eye view.
Yeah, I took a photography class in high school, so
Nice.
I know all the angles. You know, you have any questions, just let me know.
It would be beautiful to be a bird one day, be able to see things.
It would, wouldn't it? What kind of bird would you be?
Probably a hawk.
I was gonna say hawk. Or, no, hawk. Definitely a hawk. And then the other thing, I just liked all the world building. So they have this little orphanage that's also like a school thing. I guess all these kids don't have parents.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like they never really say why they don't have parents.
Yeah. I mean, we come to know a lot about Rico, about her mom being down there, but no one else is really explained.
Yeah, it's almost like the parents brought them from far away and then just left them. It's kind of the vibe I got.
I like that. Because that's the other thing. We've heard nothing about other countries, other worlds, or I don't know what you want to call them, but outside of this little island, I haven't heard of anything on the outside. How cool are the desk setups in the classrooms?
Dude, I was thinking about that. That's one of the most things that I've thought of in any show ever.
Yeah.
Is like, why was that not how we had our setups in school?
Now, I did think about it for, it only took 4 seconds, and I realized... No,
I didn't think... I thought about it for at least 4 hours.
I thought how cool it was, and then about 4 seconds in, I was like, oh, this would cause a ton of problems.
Well, not if you're like me and you were like super athletic and you could just like jump up.
That's not the problem I'm talking. Oh. Because it takes bunk beds to the whole next level. You know how... Hey, teachers... You got a problem with getting your kids to class on time? Bring up desk. People are going to be racing to class to get the 5th row of desk where you get to climb all the way up there. Are you kidding me? I would be leaving my other class 5 minutes early to get to my next class.
Now, do you remember... I hope you took notes on this because I do not remember this. Where was Rico in this setting?
Like, where was she in the desk?
Yeah, the desk's dilemma.
I couldn't tell you because you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about how... many shenanigans were taking place of, someone wearing flip-flops, swinging their legs, flip-flop slides off, hits the person below
just have a water bottle, just put a little
water. Yep. I mean,
I would do that.
So many. You could be in that 5th row up top, throwing things down low.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when it's on a vertical plane like that, you can't tell me who's throwing what. There's no way. Mm-mm. Imagine all the messed up notes you used to take of like little dark. People could bird's eye view it once again, write on down, see what you're writing.
Yep, see me fondling.
Oh my god, yeah. Speaking of things falling on you,
how old are these kids?
I'm saying young.
I want to say like 12, right?
12? Really? You think? I don't even think 12, because to me, they're still not even... I still think they got a couple years before they're hitting, like, puberty.
So Rico, you think Rico's like, what, 10 or 11?
10.
10?
10 seems about right to me. Because remember, they never give him a name, and I wanted to have his name because he's a little cutie pie, the little bitty brother. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know that guy's little brother, and so that makes me 3 to 5 years, and he looks really young. So
I wonder what happens to them when they grow up.
What do you mean?
Where do they go?
Like what?
They're in the orphanage, but obviously when they get to the age of like 18 to 20, where do they go?
I think that this is a whole working village. We see these people are teachers working at an orphanage. We've seen people selling food. Obviously, there's a whole group. The goal, it appears to be I don't even know what
a whistle?
What do they call them? Like a white whistle and going down and trying to figure out more about the abyss.
Do you think most of them end up just getting caught in the abyss? That's why, like, you don't really see a lot of them?
That certainly could be what they're trying to portray. It's just weird because the whole story is based off Rico's mom and her trying to get to her.
Liza.
And no one else talks about their parents. It's like she's special for some reason. And maybe that's because her mom was a white whistle and most people don't get to that point.
Yeah.
I could see that kind of being the reason, but... So, we go on to episode 2. It's the Resurrection Festival. Rico talks about all the differences between Reg. It's Reg, right?
It's Reg. That was her dog's name.
Oh, right, yeah.
She named him Reg after her dog, which is just hilarious. Because when she says that, he's like, what? Like, he's kind of pissed off that she calls him what used to be her dog's name.
And at first, I was like, okay, I saw Reg in his little showing in episode 1. And I was like, oh, wow, so this is just a kid Iron Man? He's got a little more nuances to that, but that's,
Yeah, I like the way he shoots his arms. I think as soon as I saw him, and she basically assumed that he was from down low in the abyss, the first thing I thought of was this was a kid that somehow did make it down there, and they just experimented on him at the bottom. That was the first thing I thought, and somehow he like has this robot thing, and now he can just do all this cool stuff, but he can't remember. That's the only issue.
To be honest, what I know, because here we should also say this: I've only seen up to episode 7. You've seen the whole first season.
And anytime I say something like that,
you're not, you're not using.
It's nothing in the future.
If there's one thing Chaz Chart is, it's very intelligent. He's not loose with his tongue at all. He knows exactly what he's going to say before he says it.
It's going to be hilarious if like episode 10 they reveal that.
And you're like, it's just what I thought, man. It was my own theory that I crafted. It's exactly what happened. I honestly, I don't know what they're setting up with this whole species that he is, but I like what you're thinking is more.
Did you think he was an entire different species, or did you think he was a human that got experimented on?
The way they talked about it, I have pretty much the whole time thought that it was an entire other species. But what I'm saying is, until I see what they do with that whole thing, I like what you're saying more.
And I might be jumping ahead. I don't know where we're at right now. I might be jumping ahead, but when she examines him and he's like all passed out up top and she says, you have like a real human penis.
And we were going to wait for a while to say it. There's some straight up pedophiles that have created this work of art.
Oh, dude. I don't think so.
Dude.
I don't think so.
It is weird.
See, okay. The reason I don't think so is what I like about this show is the way they somehow keep their innocence when going into some dark shit, if that makes sense. Like if you look at like Attack on Titan, Gabby is obviously her innocence is pretty far gone because she's murdering humans. But like Rico, there's some dark shit that happens down low. And she's kind of keeps that innocence, and her and Reg, and she says, "Oh, it's like she's just treating it like it's another thing. Like, oh, you've got a penis too. I looked at that, like it's nothing to her."
In the first time, I was like, "Yes, totally." there is some sort of naked kid or penis talk in every single episode thus far.
Give me some more examples. That's the only one I remember.
Well, one time she gets like knocked out, goes and takes a shower, or something, and then just walks in naked. It's Reg and Miyuka are talking or whatever. She just comes strolling out, just nothing on. Is it Habo?
I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Let me see his name. I wrote it down. I think it's Habo. He's like the... I guess he's a white whistle too. Came from the bottom. Gave Rico the... gave her the whistle, right? Or was it something else?
The whistle, yeah. You're right.
He, later on, when he goes down and sees them in the abyss, he just straight up picks up Reg, takes a peek down his pants. He's like, oh, what do you know? You do got a little pee-pee there. Good for you, buddy.
Well, if you think about it, though, I do see what you're saying. That is kind of weird. But at the same time, he's like a robot. You would think, if you saw a guy that could shoot robot arms from his arms, you would be like, are you a human?
I'd be like, I got to check this guy's private parts.
Does this guy have a small wanker or not?
All I'm saying is I'm on the lookout for...
I don't... Okay.
They're playing in a dangerous area with me.
I've seen the rest of the episodes. You might be right. But for some reason, I feel like it's not... To me, it's not bad enough for me to say it's pedophilish. There is some bit... The Habo guy, he does look like the pedophile from Attack on Titan. Well, if you really think about it.
Yep.
So you might be right.
Episode 2, Resurrection Festival. Rico talks about all the differences between Reg and humans. Reg gets enrolled into the orphanage. They go to the festival where people who were down in the abyss return. One man gives Liza's white whistle to Rico. That was Habo. And then Leader informs Rico a lot about her mother, including that Rico was born on the 4th layer. And Rico and Reg read unsealed documents from Liza saying that she will be waiting at the bottom of the netherworld. So this was, I'll say, probably maybe the most enjoyment I got out of an episode until episode 7. Because in my opinion, as much as I loved the world they made and everything, they're kind of the middle episodes for me were kind of rough to get through. It felt very kiddish in a way. Like I was like, how high was Chad watching this? I was like, this might not be for.
And maybe that's what I was talking about, the innocence part and the middle part. They do, and it's a tough situation. Maybe that's why I like it, is because they are just kids, and it's not like they go down there and they instantly, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. They still have their in it. Maybe that's why I liked it, is they kind of keep that with them for a while.
Yeah.
And you would assume that the further they go down, the more experiences they have, that would kind of go away. Yeah. So maybe second season, third season, they're not, a year or two's passed, it gets a lot more worse. Right. And that kind of that childish stuff definitely goes away. I guess I liked how it like kind of held on to it for a little bit.
Yeah. And I can see that. I guess to me, at this point, I would say that I feel like they are too young.
Yeah.
Just for the show. Because I don't see, right now, you're right. I mean, Rico is all she is just one big bomb of innocence. Like she doesn't have a realistic view. And even when she kind of does say like she's got a realistic view, like she makes comments about how, she doesn't know she's going to live for a long time. This is what she wants to do. That kind of makes it seem like she knows what she's doing. But just everything else, it's the kind of innocence that a few episodes in, it was getting on my nerves because I was like, this is too
and then
sunshine and rainbows.
Episode 7 is that reality check.
Right. And that's when they start bringing in some characters that I was like, okay, now this is getting to a little more meat on the bones. So let's talk about the Abyss a little bit, because they talk about basically the Abyss's curse. So if you come back from the first layer, you'll just get dizziness. Second, headaches, nauseousness, numbness in the extremities. You know all about that. They don't talk about the third, and then, or at this point at least, this was all in the episode 2. Fourth, you get internal bleeding. Not the best. And then don't talk about fifth. 6, loss of your humanity or even death.
So yeah, it's not a very good thing to go that far down and then try to coming back up.
So this is also the other part where I'm interested in seeing things, because to me, I'm looking at 2 kids. Reg, he's a wild card, right? Because he might be coming straight from this place, so he, for all I know, can handle this sort of thing. But I look at Rico, I'm like, how are they going to tell me and make me believe that this is all chill, all cool?
Yeah,
It seems too powerful. It's OP. The Abyss is OP.
The Abyss is OP. You know what's crazy? Imagine you being her age, knowing all of this, and being like, oh yeah, I'm going down there. Like, that is so... You have to be, like, so innocent and just so stupid to be able to do that, you know? She's just so blindly, like, just wants to go see her mom, blah, blah. She's not thinking at all about that.
Right, which makes me wonder about all the other kids' parents, if they're just dead and they know they're dead, they had funerals or whatever, like... Because no one else is even talking about it. Like,
or if they even knew their parents. We don't even know if they knew their parents.
I mean, that's true. They might have just been dropped off on the doorstep. I like how skill is split up by the whistles. Something of, you know, it's just cooler than a karate belt.
Yeah, karate belt. I had a white belt when I was younger. Had like 2 stickers on it.
And I can tell you're a little bit salty because you never did accomplish the black belt. And
well, that's way... Here's the thing. I quit when I was 7, so... I told him I was too good for it, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's just you never reach the mountaintop of... How does that work? Okay, so your white belt. White belt is... Next step is black belt, right?
No.
How does it go?
I don't know. I have 0 idea. I just know it was like something belt, then white belt. I was the 2nd level.
You only got to the 2nd level?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm too good for this, and that's why I quit. We used to throw medicine. Do you remember those exercise balls?
Oh, dude, this could be... Oh, no. I got bad news.
What?
I've got real bad news.
Oh, shit. What happened?
You're not going to like hearing this.
What?
A white belt? It's the first belt.
No way. What's the second?
Yes. Orange. Don't tell me you got orange now.
No, let me think about it.
Don't tell me that you got orange now.
Let me think about it.
Because you got the white belt.
I was orange.
No, don't tell me that now.
I was. I thought orange was first and then white. I'm totally not making that up.
I don't think
Maybe I was just white. I don't know. I'll have to look. I was a very young child. A young lad.
I never did karate.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. This is how young I was. This is one of our training exercises. You remember the exercise balls? The big, giant exercise balls that like fat women, middle-aged women sit on?
Why? What is that?
Huh?
I guess I don't associate those balls with fat middle-aged women sitting on them.
Well, that's what I associate them with because that's like pretty much all they're used
And that's fine if that's what you associate with. I just wanted to tell you that I didn't associate it with that.
Well, can I tell you what?
I associate it with like body surfing on them, like starting one and then diving on them. And
do you want to hear something cool? With
I do.
Our karate instructor, our taekwondo instructee, would throw those at us, and we had to dodge them.
That's cool.
Yep. If we could dodge them, if we could do this, do that, we would get...
And you loved the idea of it, but you never could quite accomplish it, hence why you never got past white belt.
And, well, I was decent at dodging. And then he would bully me. He made me... Dude, this was... God, I hate talking about this. This really brings back memories. One time, I'm not even kidding. I might have been like 3 or 4. That's how young I was. He told me to tell my parents' birthdays and years in front of the whole class.
He said what?
Imagine you being a young child,
right?
Like Chaz Chart, and being like, you being the age, okay, say even the age of 5, which would be the maximum age I was.
Okay. Well, you said you quit it when you were 7, which makes the fact that you never surpassed white belt pretty rough.
I actually don't know how old I was.
2 years and you couldn't get to the orange belt.
We will ask my father. I believe I was 5 or 6.
Well, he's gone, so can't do it.
Well, and then imagine him leaving and then remembering this. Imagine being the age of 5 and you're.
I think it's why he left.
And Sung Woo, your karate instructor,
Mm-hmm.
he literally tells you, hey, tell the whole entire class and the parents around here your parents' birthday and date. Like
you wanted year?
He wanted the year and date. Imagine being 5 years old and being like, oh, my mother and father's, and having to say the exact year and date.
He pranked you, is what he did.
He pranked me and made me cry. And my mom did
cried?
Not like it. Yeah. My mom did not like it, and then that's when she turned to the alcohol and everything went bad from there. But she was mad at this instructor. I think that's why I left, honestly.
It wasn't because you were.
And then he goes, "Oh, you don't remember? How about you go ask them?" And I had to go whisper in their ears, "What is it?" And they had to tell me, and then I would say it out loud. It's like, how would I? I'm 5. Why would I know my parents' birthdays?
I will admit that's a weird thing.
Isn't that weird?
It's pretty weird. Now here, I got to take it from you because I'm sure that you're gonna make fun of me here. And I made fun of you for the karate thing, but I will say I was at the top of my class at my particular event. My mother, for some reason, she enrolled me into a
great lady,
gymnastics class. And so it was me and one other guy. We were the only, probably same age, 5 to 6
sure,
year range, and I was not good. We have home videos. I could never really master the somersault. I didn't have enough leg power back in the day. It's why I have monstrous calves now.
Yeah, you saw the videos and you just dedicated.
And I was horrified. So I was like, I just started doing calf raises for 3 hours a day. Hence, my
and drinking milk. That was, great combo.
That's why I do it. Didn't have the caboose power to get to the second half of that somersault. The only good thing I was at, looking back on the videos, I had the perfect landing. I was very good at landing, putting my feet together and doing a little pose to show that I had nailed the move, even though I had not nailed the move.
I've always said you've been good at poses.
And the our version of the guy throwing the balls at you was we got to do this thing called pancakes, where essentially it's imagine like a inflatable beach ball, okay? Make it a huge cylinder instead. Like, huge cylinder. Okay. That if you laid down, this cylinder could lay from your toes all the way to the top of your head. Okay? And they would push it on top of across us and to make us pancakes.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why you go to gymnastics class, for pancakes at the end.
Wow. Dude, we had some sick childhoods.
We did. So back to Made in Abyss.
Going back to that, though, imagine that karate instructor, Taekwondo instructee, Sung Woo, he was most likely, think about this. Think about the ages we are now. That guy, I think, was a single dude. He probably went home and ate pizza and jerked off. And I used to think he was such a high class gentleman.
I love that you said that. Because you know what? This says something about Ronny. I remember exactly where your karate class was. It was above a Domino's.
It was above a Domino's. Yes! You remember.
So there's no way that guy was not accepting money from parents that he then knew the birthdays of, because he made every kid tell him, and then going downstairs, picking up 2 large pizzas, going home, downing them, and then whacking off.
Oh, I know. And that's crazy that you realize that when you're older, that life is just about pizza and jerking.
Yep.
And you don't realize that till you're older.
Yep. I remember back when I was on the tennis courts and I was 7 years old, and a guy made me cry because he told me I didn't have 3-second pockets, which was basically the idea. Which is, he was forcing me. He said, if you can't get the ball out of your pocket and ready to play in 3 seconds, you don't have good enough pockets. And I had what you called 5-second pockets. And I used to be so scared of him to grow up and him still do the same thing 15 years later, and me then realize that he had 5 wives and his life was in complete disarray and he was trying to hit on tennis moms, and really his shit was falling apart because he was driving, a beat up car that he just had a basket of tennis balls in and was yelling at kids.
You realize that when you're older. Stuff you realize when you're older.
Yeah. So for all the 7 and 8 year olds listening, hang in there. So it sounds like we both agree we love the whistles.
Yeah, I love the whistles.
I think we just
Big fan of them.
We love having something to blow. So episode 3 was Departure, and Rico and Reg prepared to depart with emotional goodbyes and looking at the map of the abyss and its different layers. And this is where I had the note, dude, how kawaii is Reg's metal hairband?
You like his metal hairband?
It's so cute. Isn't it cute?
I think everything about Reg is just awesome.
You're right. He's very cute.
Yeah, he's a cute kid.
He's a cute little kid. What can I say? This was also one of my favorite parts of the first few episodes. I like them breaking down the map layer by layer. I'm a big map guy.
Oh, I've always said that about you, yeah. You love maps.
Another cool world building thing that I love. This episode to me was great with the world building. They have male balloons.
Yep.
How great is that?
And the thing is, you don't trust the male unless it's from like a white whistle. Isn't that what they said? Something
Perhaps.
along those lines. It was like, we know that because it can cause confusion down low. They're like, we only trust them if they're the white whistles, because if it's from someone else, they could be confused and
They
dazed.
could be losing their mind
yes,
down there.
down low.
I do seem to recall that.
So that's pretty cool too, is like, you have to be basically an established person, or what you say is not taken with any grain of salt.
Yeah. And then this is also where we see the wharf. And this is where, to me, there's like, could be 4 more shows surrounded by this place. Mm-hmm. Because the wharf, the animation of all of it, it's like houses that are literally like built falling out into the middle of the abyss almost. And they're all attached together. They did that whole thing for a 45-second scene for them to be like, oh, we can get to the abyss this way. And then I feel like, are we just never going to see that place again?
We probably won't.
And so then that was that. Episode 4, The Edge of the Abyss. The two spend their first day down on in the first layer when Reg shows Rico the note Leader sent with them. They hurry to get to the second level before the search party finds them. They run into Habbo, who was doing this as a favor for Nate and Suga. He sends them on their way, and they get to the second level where they find creatures that will hunt them.
Yeah, and the whole Leader thing, I could tell something was up when Leader did that. I guess it was episode 2 or 3 when Leader basically caught him but let him go.
It was a fun scene where bad kid lying. He was like, "Oh, I was looking. I was going to the bathroom at 4 a.m."
And how did they just accept a robot arms kid? You know,
it's true. They're like,
they kind of just blew past.
They're like,
it.
"Oh, you just came back with something in the first layer of the abyss. Yeah, he can stay."
Yeah, it's like they knew, because they did know he had it. They definitely saw it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's almost as if they know something's up and they just don't care.
I like that too. This was the episode 4 was where I first felt disappointment, because I could not wait to get to the abyss, and the first layer essentially was a field on a sunny day, and they didn't do anything except like wake up, and they literally did nothing except for run into Habbo, and then they went to the second layer.
If I remember correctly, yeah, you're kind of right on that.
Which was kind of disappointing, because we saw, first layer, first episode, we saw the giant angry sperm monsters.
Which were awesome. I love those things.
I was hoping we were going to come across a couple more sperm monsters, but we didn't. We just woke up, and we're taking our sweet little time until we realized Leader was coming after us.
Why? Did you have any thought on, and these, especially in these early episodes, of why there is monsters in this so-called abyss, and why they have to like get past these things to go even lower? Did you think anything of that, or you just think that's just there? Do you think it's any sort of like intellectual type, you've got to pass this to get to this, and when you get to the bottom, you know the answers of the world? Like, do you think it's that deep, or do you think it's just there?
I love your high thoughts when you were watching the show. I do love how high you were in watching the show and thinking stuff like this. I guess the way that they had described it, I was just thinking of it in a way that, each layer's different, ecosystems. Like this one could be a swamp, and so you get this creature. This one could be a forest, so you get these creatures. I was thinking of it that way, but I also like the idea of like each layer there's these creatures that are protecting what's further down, and maybe it is some journey.
And then when you get, dude, you just said journey. This made me think. You get to the bottom, and it was never about getting to the bottom. It was just about the journey.
I love that.
And when you get to the bottom, it's like,
dude,
there's no answer.
I love that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, and then this is where I gotta be a little critical here. How the hell, as far as the light down here, there's some serious hand wavy yada yada, just go with it vibes going on.
What you mean? Explain it.
I mean, okay, explain to me how light gets down where they're at.
It's the abyss, bro.
Hey, there lies my point.
I don't know.
They're like, it's like the force field. It catches the force field. The sunlight reflects off the force field down into the abyss, but it dims out as you get lower into the edge.
Yeah, I literally took it as magic. That's what I took it as magic.
And I love the world so much that that's not a gripe of the show, but I did have to laugh when they were explaining it. I was like, yeah, that doesn't make sense, but I'll ride.
Because, but like you said, the world building is awesome. It makes you just want to see what's lower.
Yeah.
Like, even if the show like is kind of stagnant and you don't really, an episode is like, oh, there wasn't really much in it. You're like, but I really want to see what's lower.
It makes me want to see what's lower, but it also makes me want to see the rest of the town.
Yeah.
I mean, mail balloons, vertical desk. I love all of it. The whole place. I would want to just live there, except for, the giant sperm monster. It's just a few meters down.
Yeah.
And this, once again, it was where they really went out of their way to make sure the audience is aware that this 10-year-old boy is packing a legit penis. Episode 5, Incinerator. The duo comes across corpse sweepers, who, which funny enough is what we call your sperm, is corpse sweepers. And they
do call them that.
They end up grabbing Rico. And when things look bad, Reg manages to do the energy blast he did in the first episode and save her. And
which we didn't see him actually do.
We didn't see him do. We just saw the light shine. Now we're seeing that, what's going on here. He feels worried about this because he almost hit Rico, but she is ecstatic. She's loving this. And they manage to get to the inverted forest and arrive at the Seekers camp. And once again, the inverted forest. Awesome.
Oh, dude.
So trippy.
Dude. Yes. That's the one word I have for this show is trippy. And it especially, you haven't seen the rest of the episodes. It gets even more.
Really?
And it's just like, if you smoke the weeds to this show, you're in for a ride, because it's almost like I would love to see I know there is a manga. I haven't seen anything on it. I would love to see it, to see if like the person drawing this that's exactly what they're drawing, because whatever this person was taking, I want what they're having.
You see, this is what I imagine. You take a picture of the person like making this. They're in a darkened room. The only lights in the room are ever-changing colors of LED lights, and they're cross-eyed. They don't really know where they're looking, and they've got crayons, and that's how they're drawing things out.
Yeah, exactly how your hand was. It's like full fist. Yeah. They're not using their fingers.
There's no fingers. It's just fist, and they're just scribbling, and somehow they're nailing it every time.
Did you ever have those kids that it was way too late in life to be holding a crayon with your entire hand, if that makes sense? There was definitely kids in my school, 8th grade, that used their entire hand.
You're gonna love this. Not crayons, but people do this with forks as well, and spoons.
No,
you don't know this?
They use
not quite like that, but like this. You ever see someone eat like this?
That's how I eat.
Okay, but wait, you ready for this?
Am I close to it?
Growing up, for as long as I can remember, every time I ever, got into a groove, found myself eating like this, my parents would say, "Stop eating like Chad's dad," and hold your
Really?
fork. Yes.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't noticed. Do I eat like that?
I don't know.
I don't think I do.
I think everyone eats like it's different than the crayon situation.
No, I feel like you would notice it on me if I did.
I feel like maybe you do that from time to time.
Maybe it's from time to time.
If you're really grubbing, you can get into that mode. If you're maybe not at the beginning of a meal, when you're scooping something up, you can kind of find it kind of just happens.
Oh, well, at the end of a salad, I definitely do that. Scoop it up like that.
Yeah, you gotta scoop it up.
I don't know. I feel like you would have definitely called me out on that by now if I did.
Maybe.
But we do a lot of...
I mean, I do watch you eat meals a lot, so maybe I would have called you out.
We do a lot of finger eating.
We eat a lot of finger stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we do eat a lot of finger stuff.
We don't like cutlery.
I've
said that for a long time.
Yeah, we love using our fingers on each other's foods.
God. I wish I had a 64 pack of Crayola with the sharpener in the back right now. All right, that's just my thoughts. It's just what I wish.
We all wish.
God, I just thought of this. You were the worst fucking colorer.
Oh, how did you know that?
Because...
How did you know? For real, how
dude,
did you know?
Because I know you, and I know that your bitch ass has no patience for staying in the lines.
Thank
God, you were so bad at coloring.
I'm so glad you said that, man. Here's the thing about me. For the longest I've been alive, which is approximately 25 years, I have always hated when people tell me to color something.
I knew it.
When I was in school and we had to go to art class, dude, I barely passed art in sophomore year. My mother...
Sophomore year?
I'm not... You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding, dude. I'm totally not kidding. I'm totally not kidding. She used to tell me, you're allowed.
At 15. You're 15.
Yes. The teacher used to tell me that, God, I wish I can remember properly. My mother, she talked to my mom sophomore year. That's how bad it was.
Your art teacher had to contact your mom.
Yes.
About your performance in art class.
Maybe it wasn't sophomore year. Maybe I'm exaggerating there. It might have been 8th or 9th grade. It was if it was just a year younger.
Too old to be struggling with an art class.
Yes. She used to tell me that I didn't try at all. That it was pathetic what I was doing. She used the word pathetic. You know what it was, dude? One of the times I was trying my hardest.
No.
I'm not kidding. I told her that. I was like, I'm trying my hardest. I'm just not good at art. I'm not good at folding. I'm not good at art. And she was like, no, you can fold better than that. I was like,
I just know that so much of you.
I'm glad you said that, and you know that. Because
I know that.
I'm not a good folder.
I know that.
I'm not a good folder.
Episode 6, Seeker Camp. The duo gets accepted into the Seeker Camp where they meet Ozan and a young girl named Maruk.
Ozan?
Ozan gives the duo blue whistles that they will be forced to give back once they leave. They start making friends with the young girl. Rico runs into a monster in the middle of the night. She talks about it, but is overheard by Ozan, who cuts right to the chase, saying that Rico's mother is dead. Leads them to her room, where we end on a glowing white cube thingy.
And now that wasn't very necessary for her to say your mother's dead. That was very mean.
It was necessary, though.
It was mean.
I mean, as we're going to come to find out in the next episode, she's going to say that she's not dead.
But it was mean.
No, it wasn't mean. If she was actually dead and she knew that, and they're only on the second...
But she wasn't dead.
And they're only on the second... Given that, yes, it was mean, but it was all she says it was all a test.
That is true, yeah.
Ozan is sketchy.
Very sketchy person.
Sketchy. So, I don't know what...
And she spices up...
by the way, and I think you know this. I think you know what you're doing, right? So you can go ahead and tell the people and apologize for what you're doing.
I'm sorry. I've got a mint in my mouth.
Because...
All right, let me finish it.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Gonna have to do some dental work next time you go in, because I hate that.
You know,
anytime I hear someone like hard ice or like hard candy like that, I don't even know how it's possible for people to bite down on it. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So, Ozen.
You're still not done, so don't start until you're done, because that would be annoying. Who's the slowest eater you know?
Not me.
No, I know it's not you. Who is it?
I'm a little bit too fast. Here's the thing. One of my buddies, the guy that did our art design, I thought I was a fast eater.
Oh.
That motherfucker.
He puts it away.
Dude. If me and him both had a chicken sandwich in front of us, you know how fast I eat my food.
Oh, you eat it. Big time.
This motherfucker.
You don't mess around.
Half the time I eat mine.
No.
I'm not kidding.
No.
I'm not kidding.
Big bites or efficiency? Which one is it? Both?
Ask Thomas. I talk about Tommy Boy.
Yeah, Tommy Boy.
Ask him. He will tell you how fast this guy is. I thought I was fast. Does not compare to our
I've got a friend, my Tommy Boy. Mm-hmm. I've talked about. He eats fast, especially his creme de la creme is ice cream. Guy puts away ice cream faster than anyone I've ever seen in my life. It's got to be dangerous. Gives me a brain freeze just watching it. Mm-hmm. And also, why would you want to eat ice cream that fast?
That's true.
I like to swim in my ice cream for a little bit. Mm-hmm. All right. What were you saying about Ozen before you had that whole ordeal over there?
It's a scary lady.
All right, so good point. I like that. And let's go ahead and get to episode 7. By far, best episode so far.
Yes.
Ozen shows them what I like to call the womb cook. I was getting ready to say it like it rhymed. It didn't rhyme. It's the womb cube. I don't know why I thought that was going to be like a cool little name. It was just the womb cube is what I called it. Thing goes crazy insane. She's knocking out Reg, acting like she was going to, kill Rico. Because he starts to do the blast. She points it at Rico.
At her. Oh, dude. This made me angry. I'm not going to lie. This made me really
And from what we could see, the only reason it didn't work is because Reg regains some control for a minute and gets it out of there. And when he awakes, Ozen claims it was all a test. We see some history of Ozen and Liza. Liza obviously looked up to her, and Ozen seemed to maybe have like a little spot soft for her as well.
The irredeemable Ozen definitely had some soft spots.
And Ozen drops the 2 off on the edge of the second layer to just survive for 10 days.
And this is what I like about this. It was very, very bitch move, what she did. Very bitch move. But these are kids who they haven't even gone past this. They just got dropped off at the second layer. They've got a long ways to go. And she kind of slapped a sense of reality.
They were the first whistle. They were fucking Chasley Chart trying to walk into a black belt dojo and be like, fight me.
Yes. She slapped a lot of sense into him.
And then the black belt said, the black belts, all they did was walk up to you and say, well, what are your parents' birthdays? And you shit your pants.
Shit my pants.
And they said, get out of here.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing.
I definitely peed my pants when I was younger.
But no, what did you think about the womb cube? Very interesting.
It's when the story starts getting a little weird.
It shows like there's some sort of, it's like there's some sort of technology that keeps things
It's like a portal,
safe.
A portal shield. That's what I like to call it.
But then there was something about how Rico died.
She was dead, but
Then they put her in the cube, or she
put her in the cube.
And then when she was good again.
It's kind of scary thinking about it. It's really weird thinking about it.
The womb cube looks like it smells steamy. It's steamy.
Now here's this. Is it because they put her in the cube and went up higher that she came back to life because of the way that the abyss works, or is it because of the cube in general?
The cube itself.
That's one thing I don't know. It could have been because she raised levels. And it was like the way the abyss works, it made that come back to life. And the cube kind of protected her from dying or whatever. Right. Whatever the conditions were, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or it could just be the cube in general. I can't remember exactly. Did it say, or did it just left that up to us?
I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay.
So what do you? Well, God, see, this is where you've. What can all you say at this point? You think you have any notes that you want to touch on? Because you haven't looked at your phone at all. So I don't know if there were certain things you wanted to bring up, or if you lied to me and didn't actually have any.
No,
notes
I do
on the
have
phone.
notes. But a lot of them are like my top 5 and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's probably all I can say at this point.
All right. Yeah. Because I will definitely say, I've been on a roller coaster through this first 7 episodes. The very first 2, I was very pumped. They were setting things up. Couldn't wait to get into it. Then once we got into it a little bit, I was disappointed. I wasn't. To me, almost, I know that they're trying to build this bond between Reg and Rico. I get all that. They needed like a third. I wish like Nat could have come, or one of the other kids that they'd kind of introduced, or if something like that.
Yeah, I see
With
what
it just
you're saying.
the two of them.
Well, going back to that, I did think that Nat, when he showed back up secretly,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go with him. I was kind of bummed that he didn't, because
Right.
I thought that was where the story was progressing.
Yeah, it felt like that in
It
that
did.
episode 2 or whatever when they were getting ready to leave, or whichever episode it was. So the changes I would have made, definitely feel like those middle episodes in this little bunch we're talking about could have been worked on a little bit. I wish they were at this point. I just wish they were a little bit older. They could do some sort of time jump to age them up. I just feel like they're a little bit too young.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say, but yeah, I feel like you'll definitely be pleased with the direction that the rest of the episodes go.
Okay.
Especially
got a lot of-
you're talking about liking them going down. Some more adventures come. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
And by far, the second half of this show was by far my favorite of the show. Not
And
even close.
I already liked where it left off. The fact that they're in this dark, inverted forest, and they got to survive for 10 days. Ozen just left them. I'm already excited to see what that's all about. Because she's which is true. I hadn't really. I guess I'd kind of thought about it. She's straight up putting Rico's life in Reg's hands because she can't do shit, and she's just saying like, you got to figure out what to do without just using your little blasty thing. Like, you got to come up.
And
with
that's
some stuff.
Reg is like the strength, and Rico does have some smarts. Can like survive off like food or whatever.
Yeah.
Finding food, doing all that.
She's a good cook.
Good cook. That's what they
She
complement
makes
each
grub.
other.
They do.
Because Reg, if you told him to cook, what he's gonna do? Pull out his robot arms? Be like, oh, I'm gonna cook this? No.
Yeah. Now, we famously have gotten in trouble for being two guys talking about young girls' crushes. But let me ask you the most important question, perhaps, of the entire episode here. Are you shipping it?
I am shipping it.
You're shipping it?
I think Reg has more of a crush on her than she has on him.
Because she's too innocent.
She's too innocent. That's exactly.
She doesn't even slow down long enough to consider it.
Mm-hmm. And which is what I kind of like. I like how they're not romanticizing it. They kind of like hint at it, but it's like if I was Reg, I would definitely be crushing on her.
I'm not quite shipping it yet. I gotta
You're
be
not
honest.
shipping it?
You know who I ship even more? I ship Reg and Maruk.
Okay.
Because I think Maruk, it's the other way around. It's the love triangle. She likes Reg. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love these conversations. But Reg doesn't. He's too innocent to know.
Yeah.
God, yes.
And well, if we go back to it, I always actually, you know what? I take that back. I always thought that Nat and Rico should have been a thing. I feel like Nat
Shipping it.
He was almost about to confess his love to her before
Shipping
they went down. Am I right?
You're right.
It felt like he was going to confess it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like, Rico, I like you a lot.
You're right.
And then they would go down.
You're
but
right.
no, he didn't. He was too scared.
Okay, so Ozen is... she's an old lady, essentially, right?
Well, at the end
We don't even know her true nature.
At the end of episode 7, we saw her arm, and it's like, is this even a human? We don't... It had like a creature-esque form.
All right, here's one theory. She can never leave the abyss even if she wanted.
Okay, I like that.
Um,
That's actually... I never really thought about that. That's probably a good point. Because... And I wonder, too...
Something about the abyss is keeping her alive.
And, okay, Reg. What Reg looks like. If my theory is completely wrong, he's not a human. that was experimented on. He's like a creature from down low. Is she a creature that originated from this abyss as well?
Well, here's the thing. Well, perhaps.
Was she when she was talking to Liza up top?
To me, she almost seems like the type of person who was a normal human, spent so much time in the abyss, went so far down that it changed her, and now she's like given up so much of who she was, who she is, to where she's essentially, the abyss curse has taken her over so much that she couldn't leave if she wanted to. And Liza might be the same way too when we see her. And very interested to see what Liza is like.
Dude, that is scary to think about. That's also why Ozen was so just had no feelings whatsoever for fucking with the kids like that and like acting to kind of prepare them, because if a normal person does that, they're not really going to go through with that.
When she talks about how, obviously you said the thing about the arm, she's also talked about like scars on her neck, or when that's why her hair's weird. They've made it a point, like we've never really seen her eyes so much.
It's scary when they show like her blacked out eyes.
The way she's got that hat, which is so anime, by the way.
Love it.
I think, here's another thing. There's monsters, some creatures down low where you can't look them in the eyes.
Ooh.
That's another prediction I got. How about that? And that hence why her hat. And
dude.
Okay.
Wow.
What else do I have here? I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it at this point. So that's.
I'm glad you're looking forward to it, because you're looking forward to the best half of the season, in my opinion.
Well, do you have any kind of like your top moments of the first? I've kind of mentioned some as I've gone through.
Yeah, the Crimson Split Jaw. Anytime the Crimson Split Jaw.
Call it the Angry Sperm Monster, please.
Angry Sperm Monster. The ASM.
Yeah.
The ASM is a beautiful specimen. And I loved I love the Incinerator. I loved how when he incinerates, he then passes out.
Yeah.
There's a limit to that.
That's another cool thing that she mentioned in episode 7 was how he's got to get that under control, because when he did that, he passed out, and she said that she knocked him around, dunked him in water, and it took him, she says this particular time
or something like that. Something along like 60
while.
minutes or something. So he's out for a while. Like if they're in immediate danger, there's several things around, he does it, he's going to be out for a while. Like he's done. There's no helping. So he can't, it's got to be like the worst danger possible for him to use it. And I can't remember the exact time. I think it wasn't an hour, or was it something along 30 minutes, an hour, somewhere around there.
Another theory I just thought of Reg's whole nature thing. I'm trying to come up with something where he is legitimately half human and then half creature that's down. Like there's not other things that look like him. Rather, he's half human, and then there's half of something that is all gadgets like he is.
Do you think? Oh my dude, how epic would this?
And
be?
I was almost getting ready to go so far as to say that he's Liza's kid with some.
I was about to say that. Yes,
but I don't know if I can.
Some weird creature just probed.
Maybe
Liza.
Ozen. Maybe Ozen. Dude. All right, that's me getting super bananas, dude. But I like that right now that he's Ozen's.
I like
spawn.
And how long do you think it is before we find out what Reg really is?
All right, so here's the one season. There's talks of a season 2. What do you know about that?
Yeah, I think 2022 is season 2 supposed to come out. There's a movie that also correlates that we need to watch after this season. Okay. I haven't watched it, so.
All right. Yes. So feeling good about that. Ozen had her whole squad. I kind of liked their vibe. I would want to see more of them.
I'd really like going through my favorite characters. Ozen is, I think, my favorite character so far.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I'm most intrigued by Ozen. I don't know if I'll say favorite because kind of a jerk, but
well, she is. But sometimes kids need a beating.
I mean, you made a good point earlier because I've said, when we do this sort of thing in the future, we can do like top 5 characters, and you were like, well, there's really only like
Yeah.
There's essentially 2 characters and a few side characters, and you're not wrong. It's kind of hard to do a top 5 character thing at this point.
I mean, I do really like Rico and Reg, though.
And see,
together.
that's fun.
I do like them. Maybe it's because I've seen some more episodes, but I do think
I'll be interested to see how I feel after the first 13 episodes. Right now, to me, it's just almost a little bit too kiddish. It's almost like I like Reg. Rico gets on my nerves a little bit.
I can see that.
She's a little bit too much, but we'll see. All right, I think that was a good little. I think right now the plan will be we got to learn a little something. Probably next week. We'll have to look at that. Either learn a little something next week, or we'll do another one of the 8 through 13. But that one's coming. And
dang, so you're gonna watch 8 through 13 by next week?
Send the reactions. Well, I don't know. We'll have to mess. We've got 2 learn a little somethings in the bag at the moment, so that's why I'm saying I don't know how the weeks are gonna work out. But no more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll come back with 8 through 13. And we'll move on to something else.
Which is, I'm sure, what most people are waiting for.
Yeah. This is good. It gives people, if they haven't seen it, they can go watch it, get caught up, check it out, or people can do a little refresher. Let us know what other shows you want us to watch.
People could fucking hate this and unsubscribe right now.
They could do that too, but they're going to miss out on that Attack on Titan. Chainsaw Man, we're pumped for that too.
Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer.
Who knows, dude? All right. I've been Ronnie.
I've been Chatty.
Peace.
Peace.